I'm Kamal Santamarie here in Doha. These are some of the stories we're covering here on Al Jazeera. At least 14 people killed in fresh clashes in Indian-administered Kashmir. Police shot at protesters attacking a Christian missionary school. The attack on the school followed reports that copies of the Quran may have been damaged in the United States. There were others protesting against the issue of Indian rule. We spoke to Mirwais Umar Farouk, who is a leader of the separatist movement in Kashmir.
People are protesting on issues. On one hand, there have been protests against Indian rule in Kashmir, especially the fact that they have imposed curfew on the day of Eid and they have confined the entire population of Kashmir to their homes. So the people are protesting against that. And secondly, also there are reports in that about this alleged desecration of the Holy Quran. People are angry and they're also protesting against that.
Voters in Turkey have approved plans for major changes to the country's constitution. Around 58% said yes to changing the country's military-era constitution. Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan hailed the vote as a victory for democracy. Belgium's Roman Catholic Church has acknowledged widespread sexual abuse by its clergy over many years. All that's in a new report which details the accounts of hundreds of victims. Alan Fisher with more details.
Well, the church couldn't do anything else. I think the evidence was overwhelming. What we've seen is that there has been systemic abuse in the Catholic Church in Belgium over decades, involving hundreds of victims. And perhaps the most troubling aspect of it all is that it says that in at least 13 cases, people committed suicide because of the abuse that was visited upon them by people connected to the Catholic Church. This wasn't just priests, but it was teachers and also lay people who were connected with the church.
Authorities in Bangladesh have declared a red alert after a deadly outbreak of anthrax. It is the biggest outbreak the country's ever seen. In just the last 2 weeks, anthrax has spread to several districts. Hundreds of people have fallen ill. Anthrax bacteria occurs naturally in the soil, but it can infect livestock, and it gets passed on to humans if they eat contaminated meat or handle infected animals. Just some of the stories we're looking at here on Al Jazeera, the latest on those and plenty more at aljazeera.net/English.